This evening's broadcast might be one of the most complicated series of multiple layered topics that we've seen in quite a long time. And I'm just the guy to do it. And you're just the person to understand it because you're smart. You're sharp. All right? You're sharp. Now listen to me in a couple of things that we need to make sure that we how do we say this? Things that we need to make sure everybody understands. I'm going to start off with the topic of Bobby the K. Kennedy. Now, as you know, the subject was, is he going to help the Democrats or the Republicans? Now, the way you normally figure this out is when the radical left woke media types say, "Oh, he's going to help the Democrats," he's going to help the Republicans because they lie, they distort the truth, they have no idea how to tell the truth, they don't care about the truth, they wouldn't know the truth if I bit them in the arse. Okay, that's number one. And then you ask the question, well, how would this work? Well, right now there were two pretty interesting, usually Democratic folks running who are in contention. Number one is Cornel West, who I think is running independent. I think he was, I don't know if he was a Green Party or independent. Anyway, I think Jill Stein might be running too. And anyway, Cornel West and Bobby Kennedy. Now, Bobby Kennedy, I thought for sure, Bobby Kennedy represented a lot of people because he is the prototypical classic left. Or is he? Is he the prototypical archetypal lefty Democrat? Certainly not woke. What is he? Well, the name Kennedy. Do you think voters today have any clue as to what the name Kennedy means? Do you think they have any idea? Of course not. Of course not. They have no idea whatsoever of the name Kennedy. So what is he going to do? Well, here's what happened. Things might have changed October the 7th. A while back, you might remember, there was a story in which he was at a place in the Upper East Side. I think it was Tony's Napoli. Anyway, he was at this Italian restaurant in New York. And he was speaking to these people, and he said during the course of his discussion that perhaps one day there might be either a vaccine or some type of bio agent or something that might actually target people based upon their genetic makeup, and if they are, let's say, Ashkenazi Jews, or they have a particular genotype or something that can be predetermined, they might be in fact targeted by virtue of some nefarious, evil, what have you. Okay? All right. It's fascinating. Fascinating. Now the question then becomes, well, is that possible? Yes. So what did they say? They immediately said that he was anti-Semitic. They said he was anti-Semitic because he mentioned Jews. This is way before October the 7th. They go, wait a minute, what? You're anti-Semitic. I am not anti-Semitic. You are anti-Semitic. Now today, in the culture that we live in, that would have been a red badge of courage. That would have been, yeah, good for you, because anti-Semitism is the spectator sport of the American left. Anti-Semites are being bred by the hour. They're taking on different flavors. So what did he do? He enlisted the help of Shmuley Boteach, America's rabbi, and he, in this whirlwind tour of promotion after promotion, proved to the world that there was no one who was more aligned, better aligned, and more a friend of Israel than Bobby Kennedy. That was before October the 7th, and that is going to haunt him in the world of the radical left. Let's explain this. Let me ask you to please like the video, subscribe to the channel. I got a lot to talk about. Ingrate, aliens, Pentagon UFOs, Taylor Swift, Oregon decriminalizing drugs, Israel destroying free speech. Get ready, get set, go, ladies and gentlemen. You're in for a treat. But first, I ask you right now to listen carefully to the words of our sponsor. Dark clouds are gathering as markets shudder. Stocks are sinking, currency stumbling, fear and uncertainty reign. The Middle East, Ukraine, Taiwan, the debt, it's endless. Yet one asset stands firm: gold. In crisis after crisis, gold is there in the background. Its enduring value guards against loss, like a missile shield against incoming. While paper wealth burns, gold persists. Shield your savings against looming threats, war, recession, contagion, and avoid the frenzied panic of the unprepared. Take control in the chaos. Fortune favors decisive action. Get hold of gold now before it's out of reach. And right now, Noble Gold Investments offers a free 5-ounce America the Beautiful coin with every new IRA. Claim your free coin today to secure your financial future. As this new storm gathers, panic looms. And some of the places you were thinking of for your money, well, they don't look so clever anymore. Secure your future against disaster now. Open a Noble Gold Investments IRA and claim your free bullion coin today. Go to LionelNationGold.com. That's LionelNationGold.com. LionelNationGold.com, the only gold company I trust. And remember, there's always a risk of investment and there's no guarantee of any kind. Listen to me carefully. Remember that when I tell you something, it's not because I want it to be this way. I'm telling you the way it is. I tell you the way it is. I'm a realist. I tell you exactly the way it is. Whether people like it or not, you may not like the reality. You may not care for it, but I'm going to tell you what it is. Right now, we are sitting in, Israel has never hit a lower point in the collective world public opinion sphere than it does now. And it is not necessarily anti-Semitism or anti-Zionism. As a country goes, it is zero on fumes. Russia was like that. Russia was the same thing from time to time. Iraq, I'm not putting them on the same plate, but from time to time this may not be worldwide. Remember when we were mad at France because France would let us fly over and refuel our jets. We had freedom fries. But right now, 300,000 people marching in London against Israel. Dear God, it's just starting. At every prestigious campus, everywhere, and it's now blending into anti-Semitism. There was an article in today's New York Post. I want to bring this to your attention, please. I ask you to read this, and it says, here we go. This is it. Frontlines rabbis at woke colleges describe unnerving anti-Semitism as campuses become hotbeds of hate. Thousands of rabbis gathered Sunday in Brooklyn for its famous annual Shabbat event, including hundreds on the front lines at some of the wokest, rabidly anti-Semitic campuses, and they go on. Let me explain to you about something. We can never let genocide happen again. We can never let Kristallnacht and Nazis, we cannot. You don't need me to tell you that. I don't give a damn whether you like Jews, know what Judaism is, could even spell it. I don't care. It doesn't matter. We cannot allow this ever. Do I make myself clear? Do I make myself clear? Do you understand what I'm saying? We can't do this. We can't. We cannot allow slavery. We can't allow human trafficking. We cannot, as being a part of this college, this symphony of mankind, okay? This family of man, as Three Dog Night intoned, we can't allow this to happen. And you can hate Israel all you want, the country, the policy, Bibi, that's okay. You might feel the same way about Macron. It might feel the same way about whoever. That's political. But when you blend your dislike and your hate and your disgust for Israel into Jews and Judaism and rabbis, no. That's like saying I have a beef with Africa and then I'm going to dislike Negroes or black people. Wait a minute, what? The two have nothing to do with each other. Judaism has nothing to do with Israel. Let me say this again. There is a political move that is being done by Bibi and others and the Likud and his new coalition. And you can say whatever you want, but that has nothing to do with Jews, nothing to do with Judaism, nothing to do with the Torah and Abraham, nothing, 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 nothing. And if you need me to explain that to you, you need help. If you don't understand that intuitively, you need help. Okay, you got that? But here's the problem. And this is what gripes my ass like you can't believe. I'm supposed to sit here and love everybody. If I show the slightest disdain, the slightest disagreement with anything, LGBTQIA2S plus, COVIDeers, COVID maniacs, pandemic activists, climate change people, gay, black, brown, trans, Islam. I'm supposed to love if I so much as indicate the slightest indication of anything other than bubbly, effervescent, manic love. I'm considered a racist, a transphobe, or whatever. And I have had it. Okay? I've had it. I want to make that very clear. I've had it. Okay? Good. But you can show this double standard towards Jews, telling them shelter in place. Imagine this. Hey, black folks, sorry. Yeah, well, we got some Aryans out there. We got to remember this clan, but you know what? Just stay inside, stay tight, and hope for the best. What if you looked outside and BLM flags were being ripped off of poles and there are people screaming for you, not against you, but they want you. That would have never even been allowed to happen. They want it to happen. They're allowing it to happen. I don't give a diddly damn what you think about Israel or Hamas or Gaza or any of that. That's absolutely the fact. And if you can't grasp that, there's no help for you. There's no help. There's nothing to do. Then we need to sit down. We need to talk. You need remedial help. If you can't grasp that, if you can't see the difference, okay? Now, let's stop that and put that over here, okay? You got that? This is one plate. We're going to spin this plate, okay? Good. Let's talk about Bobby Kennedy. When Bobby Kennedy met with Shmuley Boteach and told the world, you don't understand, I am 100% on board. Okay, fine. You don't know, you don't understand this. And he said this, and we saw Mrs. Ellen and I saw him at the glass house here. My father, I was raised, you know where Palestine comes from. Yes, Bobby. This is before October the 7th. Yes. No, you don't understand. I live and breathe Israel. Okay. All right. And how dare you suggest, dare you, anti-Semitic me, don't you understand? Okay. All right. Well, that was before October the 7th. And those words are going to come back to haunt him among his diehard left. What am I saying? What am I getting at? Guess what? He was at first going to basically benefit Trump because he was going to take votes away from the left. But now, who is it who represents? Who is it? The right or the left who would most agree with him? Who? The right. He just basically made his speech. They're going to say, that's my guy. And what does he say about COVID? Who are the rabid COVID maniacs? Who are they? The left. The woke, baby-fied, snowflake, powder puff, candy cane, cotton candy, imprisoned, spineless lefties. Bobby Kennedy is going to hand the election to Gavin Newsom. It just changed because of October the 7th. You following this? Blink once for yes. Tell me you understand it. It just changed. It just changed. It all changed. This is the thing which people don't understand. They don't understand the politics of Israel, how it plays in this country. If you don't understand that, AIPAC, what's AIPAC going to do now? It all changed. Everything changed. Rashida Tlaib is going to be one day a huge leader, not AOC, Rashida Tlaib. Do you understand what just happened? I'm not telling you good, bad, or different. I'm telling you the truth. Now, do you know why the right has always loved? What is with the right? Do you think that some guy from, Dothan, Alabama, some Christian, praise God, Pentecostal, why he loves the Jews so much, loves Israel? Have you figured this one out? What the hell does this have to do? Now, years ago, and it has been suggested by Peter Hayes and others in these wonderful lectures. One of the genesis or one of the originating factors of rabid and virulent anti-Semitism was the fact that they were considered to be Christ killers. This was this horrible taunt, this phrase that was always used because they approached, they believed. Oops, hang on. But they believed problematic. They believed that we'll go away, that the people responsible, for the most part, were responsible for the death, dare I say, of Christ, were the Jews. When in fact it was punch and slap. We've been through this a million times. We've been through this whole thing with Mel Gibson and with everybody else. Now, one of the problems which you also have with that is that there were other folks who believe in this notion of eschatology, and eschatology is something that is critical for you to understand if you are truly to understand how this thing works. And eschatology is the end of time. Eschatology is the idea that the end of times when Christians will be reunited, and I'm giving you a very cursory, very perfunctory review of this. But when the Christians, whatever, realign, reacquaint, reconnect with Jesus, with God at the end of time, it's probably going to be there in Israel or that site. And it's going to be Armageddon. And Armageddon may in fact be, may in fact be at the behest of or at the involvement of a nuclear conflagration of sorts. Do you understand this? It may, in fact, be a part of a nuclear conflagration. And that's like, oh my God. Now, what does that mean? That means that it has been posited, it has been suggested, and it has been stated many, many times in the fact that one of the reasons why there's this idea, this connection, is that this is where it all happens. This is where it all kind of comes to a head. It's a kind of a silly notion to some, but to other people, it's not. But it's been a part of the right of the conservative right forever. It's not. I've never understood. It's funny. There are things that are not necessarily anti-Semitism. One of the funny, not funny, but one of the most interesting things that people who claim to be Zionists, and the people who claim to be a Zionist are very interesting. These are people who have said, "Oh no, I'm a Zionist." Many years ago, some of the most anti-Semitic people ever, some of the most anti-Semitic people, believe it or not, were folks who basically said, "No, I'm all for Israel having a homeland. Go to Israel. No, that's your homeland. Go. Hey, thanks a lot. Hey, no problem. No, that's yours. Just go." And I thought, wow, this is odd. This is strange. Why are they so? Why is there this incredible? Because many of them, not all, but many, wanted Jews to leave. But it sounded great. No, that's your home. Go over there. And now we're hearing people, which is interesting. We have a lot of Jews saying, I should say Jews, Palestinian, or excuse me, Israelis, or both, others as well, saying, well, listen, if you Palestinian, you Arabs love these Palestinians so much, why don't you take them in? It's like, wait a minute, now we're getting back to that again. That's what they told the Jews when they said, you want to go to Uganda? Uganda? Do you hear what this is? And all of this was pretty much kind of under wraps before. All of this was under wraps. It was kind of, sort of, it's all come to a head now. You understand the backstory. And what's fascinating too is that for years, we believed in the indefatigable impenetrability, the absolute, the powerhouse of the Israeli military, the Israeli intelligence. Nobody was better than them. Nobody can be. What? What? Myth number 1 or 2, depending on what it was. Then we heard these things about, don't you understand? There's a Jewish lobby, and the Jews own everything, and the banks, and the this, and the music, and the entertainment. And if you say anything, that's over with, because I'm hearing real anti-Semitism, not anti-Israel. Holy, what's happening? And you're telling Jews in New York, listen, shelter in place. What? It's all changed. Bobby Kennedy, October the 6th, was going to hand the victory to Trump. Not anymore. It's over with. That particular matrix. Am I making sense? I don't think I'm making sense. That sounds like what's his name? David Byrne. Hang on for a second. Think about what I said for just a second, all right? Are you subscribed? Make sure you're subscribed, okay? While you think about this, let's talk about something very serious. Something that happens when all stores close and there's no food. What will you do? I've got an idea. All right, fellow patriot, let's talk about My Patriot Supply, the country's largest preparedness company. And it is more than equipped to stock your shelves in times of emergency. You can ditch the canned vegetables in the box, pasta and the banana chips and the jerky. Their best-selling 3-month food kit provides delicious breakfasts, lunches, and dinners that last up to 25 years. Now, these meals offer over 2,000 calories every day, with a balance of protein and carbs to keep you fed and ready to go in the event of an emergency. Just add water and heat, then eat. Start or strengthen your food supply with this 3-month food kit from My Patriot Supply. So go to preparewithlionel.com to get ready. Preparewithlionel.com. I'm going to say it again. Preparewithlionel.com. Go now. Makes so much sense. Makes so much sense. Okay. Now, what I just told you right now is one of the best commentaries you're ever going to hear, and it explains it perfectly, because it all just changed drastically. Drastically. And now we hear Bibi, who says, I think I want to talk about hostages. It's absolutely unbelievable. Now let's talk about something else. Okay. The news story. I did a piece. I hope you saw this. I hope you're subscribed to the channel. Hope you're subscribed to the channel, my friends. It's very, very critical. It is something which is monumentally critical, and it works something like this. It is. Oh Lord! Oh, here we go. One of the. I don't want to say it's a funny story. It's not funny. It's not funny in the least. There's nothing funny about this, but it is just. There was a story that I called, to give it to you right now, and I call it Chicago. And it is a very, very interesting story. Let me see if I can explain this to you. A number of folks from, where is it? Hang on. Let me give you the link. Here it is. Please, I hope you're signing up for it. A number of folks from Venezuela. I don't know how many thousands of miles to go through Mexico, to come here. They leave Venezuela and they get sent to Chicago. And the first thing they look around and go, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? It's the most incredible story. Chicago became this unpleasant destination Since August, 21,000 immigrants have arrived in Chicago from Texas. Just from Texas since August. Greg Abbott sent migrants, illegals to Chicago. Because why? Because they said, well, we're a sanctuary city. Bring them, we're here. We don't deport. Come on in. Okay, you want them, you got them. Now, harsh winters, lack of migrant infrastructure, ambivalent support from locals has made many of these folks say, wait a minute. We went to the Mexican border journey. They said, screw this. We're going home. We're going home. Listen to this. They talk about this one guy, and Daily Mail has a story about this one fellow and his family who was sleeping on the floors of police stations and shelters after he couldn't afford to pay rent in Chicago. The family was renting an apartment through a city voucher program that gives up to $15,000 for up to 6 months of rent. But once it ran out, they had to give up their living space. And the dad found that he found a job in construction, and he was getting paid in cash, but it wasn't enough to satisfy. And then all of the various forms and stuff that have to be done and accompany him, they're not coming his way. So basically, what he said was, "I'm getting the hell out of here. We're going back to Venezuela." Do you hear what I just said? Does this make sense to you? They're going back to Venezuela. After coming here, after, just going through this incredible, this barrage of hell, they're saying, we're going back. Then we had a bunch of people in New York from the Bronx. Eric Adams sent them to Brooklyn. They got off the bus and said, screw this. We're going back to the Bronx. What am I in Brooklyn for? It's where my family is. What the hell is this? Did you see that? How am I doing that? What did I do to it anyway? Did you see that? Anyway, I hope the idea catches on. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I can't. This is, it's sad, but it's hysterical. Can you imagine this? What the hell is this? Chicago. They go from, it is just. And you know what I say? I mean no harm to these people. I mean no harm. That's enough. Go back. Pay them. Go back. Everybody leave. You don't belong here if you're not here legally. Now, here's the best part. I thought that there was this deep meaning. This deep meaning. Why all of a sudden, there was this incredible, what's the word? This this move on the part of the Democrats to make everything, to kind of grease the skids for eventually to repeal the filibuster, make DC the 51st state, permanent Democratic majority, pack the court, and that this was a part of this brilliant, Machiavellian labyrinthine plan that was going somehow to take effect. Well, that's what I thought. Well, guess what? They don't know what. There's no plan. There's no plan. They just said, I don't know. Wait a minute. You mean you don't have any plan? No. Wait a minute. Trump wanted to build a wall. You said no. You brought these people in, and you don't know who they are. You don't know. So why? What are you doing? That's it. I don't know. Don't you care? Nope. They're incompetent even with they destroy our country. Millions. We don't know how many people of them are here, where they're from, if they're sick, if they're criminals, the children, the unaccompanied. We have no idea. And it turns out right now that they don't even care. These bastards don't even care about this. Unbelievable. Okay, quickly. Now we're reading about, and I don't know how much of this is true, but the free speech crackdown in Israel is unbelievable. People are now again, let me just say this, could be complete bullshit. But I'm reading somebody on TikTok has some meme of bloody hands or paragliders or some Palestinian pro-Hamas thing. So what? But they went so far as to charge people with this. Ladies and gentlemen, my advice to Israel, to Bibi, to whatever, what are you, nuts? The whole world is, even now, I would say you can say whatever you want. Just don't kill people. And they're saying, oh, no, this is incitement. Again, provided these stories are correct. In our country, we had the Brandenburg case that says you can say whatever you want. And that incitement means nothing. That incitement means nothing unless it is alleged, if it was planned to cause the imminent a tumult, some type of violent reaction. Okay, next, Oregon is showing the world, and I have, I think, officially changed my opinion. For the longest time, many of us said, legalize all drugs, legalize drugs. Drugs are lovely. There's no reason you put them in jail. Okay, fine. Milton Friedman, William F. Buckley, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Doesn't work. It causes a disaster. Now, I need to, I'm going to warn you, I need to investigate just a little bit more. Okay. Next, I got to tell you this much. I'm going to say this to you, and I know you don't understand it, but you're missing something that business classes and psychologists will be studying for the rest of their lives. Taylor Swift has created the image of this persona and this love affair and this. It is a PR coup, the likes of which they're going to dump this guy once the NDA terms are met. She's out. Everything from Daily Mail to what it is. As someone who loves propaganda, as someone who loves the work of Bernays and others, it is sheer unmitigated genius. And you don't understand because you think, oh, Taylor's very stupid. No, that's not what it's about. It's the same form of PR genius that creates memes and tropes and tropisms and propaganda and misinformation, disinformation. It's the use of media to create the image of something. You will never be able to put into words the effect that social media have had on our world. You will never be able to explain it, understand it, grasp it, no matter how long it is that you attempt to do it. You literally, actually, and truly are not able to even remotely grasp, touch, feel, hold, appreciate, distill the effects. You don't. You can't. It is genius. It is crowd theory. It is Le Bon. It is murmurations. It is beautiful. And as Suzanne says, permanent chaos. I love chaos. Chaos is the opposite of cosmos. Chaos is in and of itself an order. Now, ladies and gentlemen, have I taken enough time tonight? Yes. But there's one thing I have not done. Now, let me say this to you. I want to thank you again for being with me, for joining me, for supporting us, for being who you are, for being your inimitable, ineffable. Absolutely, your genius is incandescent, effulgent, and I thank you for that. I wish you a great and a glorious night. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your following. We will see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. And until then, I say, my friends, as always, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Suya. Tete.